Hello, Podcast Network.
We are light a Jim Dietz this week. The episode 317 we did, season 11, the final
big premiere.
The big premiere.
The beginning of the end.
Yes, the final
Which will be like over a year from now. How long this is
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was a two-parter either. But
Yeah.
I changed the channel.
Yeah.
Well, they call it a two-parter. Like, if it's going to be a two-parter, show us both parts of the same. Like, what difference does that make if they call it part two? It's like, yeah, just the next episode. Thank you.
It's not like The Walking Dead hasn't had cliffhangers between episodes before. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it just
Part
seems
two.
yeah, given that there's no competition from, like, it's not like we're in the double episode territory where we're doing the show in Fear or the show in Beyond. Like, just
Right.
do a big like double episode 2 hour premiere and anyway.
It
Whatever.
makes me wonder, like, if they're playing around with the release schedules of the different shows.
Yeah,
And,
it could
like,
be.
because it's all logically, I get it. Like, it's direct. Like, both episodes are directed by Kevin Dowling and they're both written by Kang and Jim Barnes. So, like, they're conceived as like one full story, I suppose. But still, it's like, call it part one. Who cares about?
Yeah. Yeah. But this is Acheron Part 1, and like I mentioned,
Sorry, I just jumped in. I like the title because it's like, I know what that is. It's like hell, or like an underground river of pain. I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing there. Once I watch the episode, like, all right, cool.
Yeah, for the episode. That's for sure.
okay. So we'll get right into it. So this one had a long cold open. This is a fairly long cold open. Did anyone else notice that it was like a really obvious green screen shot, like at the very, very beginning of the episode when they're standing on the roof, like looking over?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. With his wings.
Yeah.
Right?
It was very deliberate.
Yeah.
It didn't like necessarily bother me. But
No, no,
yeah, yeah.
And the other thing is, this episode was extremely well. Obviously, the main group, not the Commonwealth scenes, but the main group. It was very dark. This was almost like Game of Thrones. What was it, the long night or whatever? Like dark level of dark for me.
For sure.
And I was
Like dark to obscure. Like you can get.
yeah, I had trouble making it out. Yeah.
Did you watch it on like TV or like streaming?
No, so two things. One, normally when I watch it off the satellite broadcast, it's usually compressed to hell. Like everything looks terrible. So I did watch it. I did stream it online today, and my monitor is pretty bright. Like it has a very high white level, and I had a real hard time seeing kind of what was going on. So
I watched it on Amazon Prime, the AMC Plus thing, on the big screen. So I watched it that way.
did it look all
I
right?
didn't
Was
see
it?
most of it. I mean, in some parts I had to really, but look at it. But for the most part, and it was sunny by the time I watched it. The sun had actually come out, so it was bright in the room.
Yeah.
When I was watching. So.
I watched it on AMC Plus on my 4K TV. I thought. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was a spitting image of light, but I mean, yeah, it was
Yeah,
like,
the 4K TV too.
it was dim, but not like that Game of Thrones episode. Which, to clarify, everybody in the world watching this thing streamed on HBO at the same time.
No, that was half of the problem. Because I've heard, not to digress, but I've heard if you actually watch the 4K version or the Blu-ray disc version, like that, it puts that whole episode in a completely new light. No pun intended. That it's much more. There's much more clarity and with that. But yeah, I mean, obviously when I watched that episode as it premiered that night, it was between the terrible compression and a billion people watching it. Yeah, the experience wasn't that great.
And like the nature of that kind of thing is, it's like a big epic final thing that requires a lot of special effects, and it's not a movie, it's HBO. Sorry, not TV, it's HBO, but you just can't afford the kind of thing you can afford when you go to a movie theater. So yeah, that's how you do things in general special effects. You obscure them with darkness and storms and stuff like that. That's a big digression. As far as this episode goes, like, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, like, especially in the subway, like, it's pretty grimy on purpose. I couldn't say I was having a difficult time reading it out, but I hear you. I hear you.
It was mainly just the subway stuff. Even was okay. It was really just this initial like on.
Oh, you're saying you think this opening scene was dark?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. That was really fine, I guess. I don't know. That was really getting to me.
Yeah, once we got past the cold open, it was. I didn't have as much trouble. It just anyway. Again, I think it speaks to more the way they do compression and things like that, and black levels and stuff on streaming than it does.
Let us know, listeners. Let us know what we're thinking about this opening.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Which I'd really like to see it. Man, I don't buy these shows on disc or anything, but anyway, it just makes me want to see it. Like if they ever put like a true 4K version out, even on streaming, to get a higher bitrate and better contrast to see if it.
Not far from ever.
If it
When it comes out. Give it a look.
Do they do UHDs?
I don't know. They might stream it like on iTunes that way. I wouldn't be surprised. But as far as there's only been Blu-ray so far. But it's not like they haven't built this franchise a lot, so I'm sure you're going to release
You
something.
never know. I mean,
Anyway, minor nitpick. Not that big of a deal. So I will say this whole cold open, I thought it was extremely well shot. I thought it was extremely well done. I liked just that this was like this covert thing they were trying to do. There's a lot of desperation in,
Right.
And later in the episode, it makes more sense as to why they were willing to go risk so much and go so far just for a bunch of MREs. And it made the payoff worthwhile. But did anybody else have a whole issue with the sleeping zombie bit? Like, what the hell was going on with that?
Because I thought they even sounded like they were snoring. So I didn't catch that. When did zombies sleep?
We've seen. I'll jump in. We've seen this before. It's not something that they haven't explored very often. But this is
They
the
named
first
it
time I've
something
seen this.
else. Yeah, they named them lurkers or something.
Lurkers, yeah.
Is what they call them. But even with that, I mean, no, they haven't done it often. But it still felt weird to see them. Because my first thought is, don't they smell you though?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
That's my
what I was
only
thinking.
thought. Like there was nothing. They didn't wipe any stuff on them when they went. So that's the only thing that I questioned was because I set the rules.
Well, I get that. I mean, you set the rules for when there are walkers walking around, but this is them in this kind of like hibernation state. And I get the show's not feeding you exposition as far as like what this mission is and how it works, but I do think it gives you enough to be like, okay, they're in this kind of vegetative states where they're, until something disturbs them, they're just kind of like stuck. Presumably, presumably we're like 15 years into this apocalypse or whatever the hell, right?
Yeah.
And so like these are walkers that have been stuck in this specific base with no sign of exit for a long time to the point where they're not just walking, they're just kind of like frozen in place until something like
But didn't they talk about how they're like almost sentinels of senses where if you don't set off smell, sound.
No, I mean they've never said that. I mean it's all.
Well, I mean they alluded to the smell. Like they're the only thing that alerts them is your smell or the sound you make, right? That's
when they're like fully active.
yeah, when they're roaming around, sure.
okay. So they go in sleeper mode, is basically.
When I assume they've been undisturbed for a long time and they just
Right.
like
I guess
keep
yeah.
walking in circles.
I guess that makes sense. Like if,
I can't call it a specific episode, but because I was reading something with Angela Kang about this episode. We have seen this before.
Yeah, I watched the extras too, and I saw that. She said that, and I'm like, yeah, we have. I do remember it, but
and it was again a bit of a nitpick, I will admit. Either way, it made for a really cool opening sequence. I mean,
I just like that it's something different.
Yeah.
It's like okay, let's make a stealth mission.
Right.
Change. Like that's something.
yeah, I like the stealth mission. In my head, I did the first thing I thought was as soon as they land, someone's gonna smell them, and then
because then you have that, and then it's like, why the roof? Why didn't they go through the front door, like or a window, or
We're gonna make a lot of noise.
True. Again,
Yeah. I look cooler though.
That's the other thing.
Right. I mean, ultimately,
the style,
yeah.
showing them working
Yes.
as a efficient team. Well, it's like that. Was it like 3 seasons ago maybe when they were like invading DC in like the
Right.
museum or whatever
Yes.
the hell, right? And they have to do like a similar like keep it quiet.
Keep it
kind
quiet,
of
yeah, and then the,
I like
and then
that.
the trailer ran
It
away.
had me on edge, from the very beginning of the episode. So I did enjoy that whole
Yeah.
sequence.
If this was not well done, I think these things would have really bugged me. And they didn't bug me; they were just things I noticed. And
Sure.
and as I was watching it and then got through the sequence, I was like, that was a badass open. Like that was really cool to just see them working like this covert, like Black Ops team or something that's rappelling in and grabbing stuff and getting out, and then of course they get woken up and they're
Right.
bow and arrowing them.
I only never. The only thing that makes me laugh sometimes is like, okay, stop putting Carol in jeopardy because I already know.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like so, one thing I like the logic where it's like, well, yeah, you only send the women because they're lighter. So like
Right.
that's why they're the because at first I was like, why are the guys? It's like, oh wait, no, because they're Bungie, so they have to be lighter, so it's easier.
Right.
That makes sense to me. And then I'm wondering, well, I get this is a season opener, it's exciting, but it's like none of these characters are gonna die. Like, all
Yeah.
these characters,
You do it. Like,
like, every character on this mission is like a main cast member. It's like
I need a red shirt. You need give me one. Give me
I know
one.
you get one red shirt, but it's like no, everybody here's somebody I know to some
No.
degree. So it's like okay, you're refamiliarizing me with like the characters on the show. Fair enough.
So I was not scared by the time we got to the the wake up and then chasing. I wasn't really.
It's not a lack of tension. It's just a lack.
No,
of,
it wasn't like that. It just
well,
really weren't gonna
logistically, my mind isn't thinking, oh, I hope Carol makes it out of here. Like, it's not
Exactly.
necessary.
Exactly.
But the one thing it's not a nitpick, it's just more of stylistic choice. The fact that like Daryl of all people gets a cut in his arm, it has that extremely cheesy close up
I know.
blood drop. It's like we're watching Blade all of a sudden now.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the blood. It's,
Yeah.
And then I thought someone was gonna catch the blood.
Yeah, I was gonna Mission Impossible. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, do it. I was saying, I dare you, do it. Like I was some shit where someone
she like
catches on a
swings on
blade.
the bungee cord. Like,
Yeah, something.
They catch the blood and then somebody goes, whoo, and that's enough noise. to
Exactly.
wake them
Exactly. That's what I wanted. That's what I was thinking.
up. The rope thing bugged me, like the rope that broke. I'm like, really? It's on this pulley system, and the rope
Right.
is it's like,
oh, it's old and everything's old.
I guess so, but I
But I
don't
knew
know.
Carol-
I've dealt with some pretty old ass rope, and it's held up just fine.
As far as cool things go, one thing Carol holding like a machine gun and blasting zombies
Yes.
is never not welcome.
Because of course Carol was gonna find the one with the bullets in it.
And then like she's running in to get the last of the MREs, and Daryl's like spotting her from the top. He throws 2 knives.
Yes.
Like 50 foot shots, like right in the knockers.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm so tired of the Daryl and Carol conflict. I'm so glad to watch them in sync again.
Yeah,
Because he didn't even question it. He just was like, I know where she's going, and I like how it followed his eyes, followed where she was looking, and he just knew to cover her as she did it.
And she grabbed his knives, and then the
Yeah.
show made time to remember that he threw his knives just to get
Exactly.
it for him. So he still has his signature knives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The knives that killed Beta, as I call them.
That's right.
The knives that blinded Beta. Put it that way.
Oh, might have been, yeah.
But anyway, like I said, I thought it was very well done. I thought this episode just in general was very well directed.
I thought so too.
From a direction standpoint, I have things about it, but I like it overall. But yeah, from a direction standpoint, I think there's a lot of strong stuff here visually.
Yeah. And then again, we get the contrast between what the main crew is doing, very dark, and then we get under the subway tunnel, and then we go to the Commonwealth people, and everything's very bright and open, and,
Right.
and it's just this big contrast between these two portions of the story. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things that worked in this episode. I really dug it. So then we get the open. I will say that just seeing the standard, scratchy animation open that we've had for a few seasons now just feels a little stale and old compared to the stylistic stuff we get with.
I thought they were going to switch it up a little bit. I did. I don't know why I thought that, but
Yeah.
This is the last season, though.
Yep. But yeah, so after the cold open, they get back to Alexandria. And again, we see this continued growth of Daryl's character, right? Like he comes back and like Dog, runs up to him. He
When he calls them, I was like,
yeah,
I
he's
was
like hugging
what?
the dog, and then JJ and
like-
Judith come up, and he's grabs hold of them, and
Yeah, he puts his arms out for the kids. and
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
The real mascot for humankind.
Yeah.
he does embrace the dog first though. So
Of course, obviously.
Yeah,
He's still Daryl.
he's still Daryl, yes.
Yeah, he's still Daryl.
But yeah, so then we get inside, and it's like the council or whatever, and we find that that food was only enough to last for 4 or 5 days. I think they said.
So it's a good call because it's first it's them they're trying to get food and there's like a cell breaking out and Gabriel breaks it up. He's like, hey, there's food for everyone.
Right.
Cut to 1
We
week.
ain't got no food.
Yeah.
Straight to it. 1 week. It's a good cut.
I wish he just said, we are screwed.
Yeah.
That's what I wish he had said.
And again,
On top of the Maggie, Negan stare at each other.
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, Maggie's people come too from the
yes,
raid.
yeah.
I know we got Roadblock in the house from G.I. Joe. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Is it actually Roadblock? Or do you
Yes, that's actually Roadblock.
The big guy, Duncan?
Yeah, he looks just like Roadblock.
You think he looks like Roadblock? Is he actually Roadblock?
No, he's not actually.
Like, it's just something I don't know about, or there's a guy that this guy
No, that'd be The Rock, because he took over that.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, is there an animated show? I don't know that.
No, but the way that they show Maggie's people, they're G.I. Joes.
Oh, yeah, no,
They have the mask, they have the big
Yes,
guy.
yes,
You really are. Now
Roadblock.
you say that. Yeah, you really are.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I
And
was thinking.
well, Maggie has a bow. Who had the bow? It was it Lady J? Is that who had the bow?
Lady J had the bow.
Had the bow.
Yeah. This was all I thought was G.I. Joe when I saw them.
That's hilarious.
This is the question we need to ask. We need to get on Twitter and start throwing these questions up there. Maggie's the Meridian Group inspired by G.I. Joe.
Joe, yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, that big guy Roadblock, Duncan, with the arms like this is good. He looks at the kid, he like little Herschel, and he
Yeah.
like, wraps his body around him.
Yeah.
He just said shoulders.
That's funny.
That's what I'm telling you, G.I. Joe. Come on.
Once you mention the mask, I'm now convinced that this is all G.I. Joe.
I'm just- the way they're standing, like all of them are like doing the cool poses as they're talking to Maggie. It's all there, man. It's all there.
Gonna find like a redhead with the hidden with the
It's coming. The other woman kind of had the hair a little bit. She could have been Lady J.
So yeah, they need food.
So they need food. Things are getting bad. And Maggie says, well, I know a place that has plenty of food and plenty of supplies and everything else, and it was a place called Meridian, which is where they were from. And essentially, they were a group of them was led away from the settlement. And they heard a bunch of screaming and stuff. And by the time they got back, everybody that was left behind was slaughtered, and they were on the run. So the place was taken over.
So this guy got me. Like their plan is, but it's only a day away. It's a day away to get like they're that close.
Yeah, I know.
It's that close. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's just like it's a Game of Thrones. It's like that TV logic. Like it's a Ravens drive away. Like we can get there.
Yeah.
This whole time, like we haven't seen you for years. You're just over there. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, Game of Thrones season 1 takes an entire season to go from one city to the other. By season 8, they're zipping halfway across the world 3 times in an episode. But yeah, so and Maggie kind of tells a tale of, they had, I forget how she exactly said it, but basically they attack at night. They kind of do things in secret. And at one point, they captured one of them. And she's like, you know what that tells me? There's not that many. So Maggie's like, look, if we got enough people and went back, we could overthrow them. We could take the place back because they're very sneaky and they're good at attacking at night and attacking when we're not expecting it. But there clearly isn't a huge number of them. And if we're
look at the names of the new guys: Duncan, Agatha, and Frost. That's not code names. I don't know what it is. Come on now.
He's not gonna let it go, folks.
Come on.
So they're gonna gather a team to go fight and get volunteers. And it's interesting. So Carol stays behind. Now, obviously, they need strong people to stay behind so that to protect Alexandria. But was it me or did you think like Daryl gave Carol a look when he volunteered and she didn't?
Yes.
I kind of caught some tension.
That's gonna come back. That's gonna come back.
But again, you do need strong people to stay behind to protect the city. So
yeah, you gotta have them everywhere, and
they probably need to give Carol another something else that she don't want to be doing.
They need to do that, and they also need to they can't off balance the Maggie Negan stuff with Carol and
yeah,
right. And Aaron stayed behind too. So I'm assuming what we'll get at some point is the episode of what happened in Alexandria while they were gone.
Because Carol would block every time Negan and Maggie went at it. She would kind of,
That's another factor too, yeah, because she has a connection with Negan as far as their plan goes. It's for writing purposes more than anything.
Right.
Sure. The way this dynamic is going, we can't have this person here because that upsets the balance of who needs to have a conversation with who.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they gather the team and they just boom, they head out. Like there was no milling around. Like they just the next scene is them walking down the road and it is pouring rain.
Suicide mission.
Yeah.
The dog, man.
Dog went with.
He needs a wolf, and G.I. Joe have a wolf.
Yeah, that's true.
The dog. Same. All there.
But yeah, so then they decide that okay, it's they can't stay above ground.
It's raining. It's really
it's pouring coming down like thunderstorm. Like
coming out of a tropical storm that just happened yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes, it did.
So they decide to go underground. And then this is where the tension starts to ramp up between Negan and Maggie. And I will say, I mean, I'm not going to jump too far ahead, but just to say in general, I really liked what was going on between the two of them this episode because I really thought they were going to try and play the whole Negan's going to show that he's really a different person and he's going to endear himself to Maggie and like that's just how Negan's going to be. And it's like nope.
Negan's going to be Negan.
Yeah,
we'll get back to it. But I do think there's very specific reasons why, which I think make it more nuanced.
I think it would have been the easy, lazy way out for them to just fall on that.
It would have been lazy.
So the fact that they didn't, I think, is good.
Negan's like Zartan if he came to the Joes.
Yes,
he wouldn't be nice.
True.
He would still be an asshole.
So he's in the tunnel. So he turns.
So Negan's there to begin with because he's like familiar with the area. That's the whole thing. Like
that's what she says.
That's her line anyway. That's her line about it. Like he knows DC, so he can get us around there.
And again, he's like, what?
I think initially that was probably some of it, but initially too it was probably he's still trying to prove himself, right? Like Negan. Regardless of Negan being Negan, I still think there's an element of his character that feels like he needs to prove him that he's not the old Negan and he can be trusted.
Right. He does want to atone, but still live at the same time.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't. He's not doing suicide missions. He doesn't think it's a suicide mission until then.
Yeah. So they go down in the tunnels and they're in this subway tunnels and they just hear this loud creaking. Like there's this loud creaking noise and like things don't sound right. And even Negan points out like, hey, you can see the water line and that is still fresh, meaning this tunnel probably floods. Frequently.
He's not wrong in anything he says in the next 10, 15 minutes.
When he first points out, like saying like we should wait, and Maggie's like, no, we're going. And he looks to Daryl and says, hey, can I talk to you? He's like, well, buddies now. That made me laugh.
Yeah. He's like, shut your mouth. He puts a flashlight in his face and he's like, well, we're buddies now. He's like, shut your mouth.
And at the same time, he's right.
I think everybody gives him like a shoulder hit too when they walk by.
Yeah.
And
he's like,
no one on this team that's pro Negan.
Yeah.
He's a real Rodney Dangerfield in this episode. No respect.
He just has that look on his face like, really? Come on. Like
I know who I am, but still, like, this is ridiculous.
All right, so they continue on, and then we cut to the Commonwealth. Well, I guess we're not in the Commonwealth, but in a holding facility. And
I like the fade that they do. It's a very simple choice. I just like that. Like how it's like it was Star Wars get started, it'd be a wipe. This is like we'll fade black, we fade back in. Meanwhile, here's this crew.
It's much better about commercials. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it gets. It's funny because I was watching it, even streaming. It seemed like half the time there was commercials during the breaks, and half the time there weren't. It just depends if they could sell you out or not. Anyway,
exactly.
I thought the use of the fade out was very effective. Not just but throughout the episode. I thought it was very. Again, I think this episode was very well put together. I mean, just from a directing standpoint, I thought, but just from like editing and
the
way it flowed.
Is really good in this. Like there's a lot of like, especially in the tunnels. There's a lot of like atmosphere and moodiness that's like communicated to the score.
Oh my God.
Every time like Negan says something and the way the characters respond to him, it like ratchets up a little. Like it was really. I was really into it.
And the question, where's Soul Man been all this time?
Was he Thomas Howell? I in my notes I really have C. Thomas Howell question mark because in the credits.
He was in the credits, but he didn't show up.
He's one of the
He's a Hilltopper, right?
He's a Hilltopper, yeah. We've seen him like once or twice, but he hasn't.
Wow, I forgot all about him.
But he hasn't. I assume like whatever he has to do will be done like this season at some point. But he's just like also starring, so he's just on the list, but he's not necessarily in this episode. Maybe in the background of the scene.
Another episode, he'll go to college or something, right?
Another one he'll be with one of the outsiders.
I did like to see that Cooper Andrews finally made like main cast, like he was in the actual opening credits.
Yeah,
so good for him. Jerry getting some respect.
About that.
Hopefully that isn't a portent of things.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
The final season.
I guess it's the final season. So
not Jerry.
All right, so we're at the Commonwealth. And again, I thought this was really well done too, the editing, where they're all getting questioned, and it's hilarious because Eugene is literally answering these questions as honestly and specifically with as much possible detail as he can give, down to like the zip +4 of where he's lived in what time period, which is hilarious. And the rest of them are just like mostly true, but every so often they'll throw something in there that's just like
there's more attitude.
Exactly. Yeah. Eugene is I mean he wants to get through this and get on the other side. And the rest of them are like, yeah, I trust you about 60%, and the other 40% I'm holding back.
Ezekiel's just like he does not care.
Dude, that was an awesome scene where he turns the chair sideways.
He says Mercer's wearing a pumpkin colored spacesuit.
Yes, yes.
I'm a big fan of Mercer in the comics. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him on the show, and we will. But
Yeah.
I'm already having fun with Mercer. I see this stuff. So.
And he has no F's to give. Like he's just
No,
like,
not at all.
oh, you think you got me figured out? Okay, sure.
And yet they're like, either they're hiding it or they can't put two and two together that he has cancer and he's dying.
Yeah, I'm like, that cough didn't do it. Like, I know. They're waiting for him to bleed out of his nose or something.
Well, I think they know it, right? Like, I mean, when they asked him about the goiter, he's like, oh no, it's there. I've had it since I was a kid.
I've had this abnormally large giant.
Yeah, this,
thing on my
yeah,
chest.
this softball growing out of my neck.
That's one of the things all older black men have. It's completely fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Jim Deeds, are you there?
I am here. Hello.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm sorry I was late. I had some pressing business to take care of.
don't apologize, man. I'm glad everything's okay.
Yeah, it's been a challenging week or so for me.
Sounds like it.
Understandable.
I'm glad to hear you all are doing well.
Oh, you're doing well.
Yes, I'm alive. I'm not. Yes, I'm not wrapped in plastic and left in a subway somewhere.
Well, it's a good thing you mentioned that because that's the business we're doing right now. We just got into the first Commonwealth segment of the show, which is going to lead us back to exactly that mass grave. That's what we're going.
Right. I want the Mercer action figure. I love that orange Stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
That's pretty sure.
Yeah.
That'll be fun for the games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get the Mercer skin and watch Walking Dead.
They'll put him in Fortnite.
Well, I mean, they had the Negan skin in Mortal Kombat, didn't they? One of the
Yes.
fighting games that Negan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Now they'll put him in Fortnite. They'll put Mercer in Fortnite. Just wait.
sure.
The whole metaverse thing is very hot right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're so they get past all that. They're back kind of in the holding area.
Oh my God, Starfleet.
Jim, by the way, Daryl has posited this, and I'm very much a champion of it. Now, all of Maggie's people seem to be from G.I. Joe. Like, that seems to be the case here. Like, they all seem to be one-to-one translations for various G.I. Joe characters.
They also made a very compelling argument in favor of this as
Who's
well.
Negan then?
No. In
But
Maggie's
Maggie's
people.
crew. Maggie's
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're G.I. Joes.
We got Snake Eyes. We got Roadblock.
Uh-huh.
And then Maggie with the bow is Lady J.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And the dog is
We
the
got the
wolf,
dog.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And even Negan, he's like Zartan or something, right? Because he was the head of the Dreadnoks.
Who's the master of disguise? Destro, right?
Yes.
Right,
Well,
well,
it was Zartan actually was the man.
I was never really into G.I. Joe stuff. You guys school me.
He was that action figure that like changed color
If you left him in the sun.
in the sun. Yeah.
But not too long because then he would melt.
Yes.
And he did.
If you did.
And he did.
Yeah. So they're back getting questioned at the facility, and there's some folks like in the containment area next to them, and Princess is like, hey, how long have you guys been here? And the one guy's like, what do you say, 4 months? And the lady, I guess his wife or whoever he's with is like, it's been 9 months. And he's like, 9 months, really? Like it's been 9 months. And so then they're just like, because they're thinking, oh, okay, well, fine. Like they talked about reprocessing. We'll just get through this whole thing. Yeah, no big deal. And there's people been in there 9 months. And then of course there's a guy sitting at the table, and some of the Commonwealth stormtroopers come in and pick him up to carry him away, and he's like screaming about reprocessing. And so they're trying to talk to Eugene and saying, look, we gotta get out of here. And Eugene's like, no, we gotta stay.
Right.
And then after they drag that,
So, hold on a second. Wait a second. Doesn't he seem unnaturally hung up on this girl?
yes,
Like, so
But it is Eugene.
when he's getting interrogated, it's like, I get it, but like, when he's getting interrogated, that's all he talks about. Is this, theoretical girl, that lured him in or whatever.
he does make
He's just a boy. Love this girl.
He does make the case,
Well, I
though,
guess.
when he's sitting there, that he's like, look, we are desperate back at Alexandria. Like, we have no
too.
food. Like,
Right.
shit's falling apart. Like, we're in dire straits. And he really believes, part of it is the girl, but part of it is he really thinks these people can help him because Alexandria
They
is
can have it all.
in dire straits, yeah. But then after that guy gets drug out of there and he's, they realize he's been there, 9 months, he's like,
Maybe not.
okay, we gotta go.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the first segment there. And then we go back to the tunnel crew, and they find a ton of bodies in plastic bags.
Oof.
And the thinking there from most of them is that, well, this is just where they must have put everybody, when everything fell. And some of them are still, not, quote unquote, not fully dead. Some of them had their throat slashed so they couldn't make any noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
That was creepy. And so Negan's like, "Are you sure that these people were killed during the fall?" And again, he's trying to logically think this out and give everybody pause. And I think Daryl thinks that Negan's right, but
Yes, he does.
he also is not going to go against him. He knows what a terrible piece of crap that Negan is, and he is not going to give him the satisfaction of being right, even if he believes he is.
And the last time he did, like he doesn't want to go against a friend because he still doesn't forgive himself for Rick.
Yeah.
Right.
And for Glenn.
And for Glenn.
Because he riled Negan up to the point of killing Abraham and Glenn at that point. So that's part of that. Is like there's a lot of
So
him trying to keep Maggie satisfied. Like I'm obviously Daryl would know what situation seems hinky, and yeah, going into a darkened tunnel full of a mass grave during a storm that can easily flood the tunnel. Like all of these are red flags that he should know better. But he also he's like, well, she's motivated to get this thing done. It's like, all right, we gotta get this going. But Daryl's also smart. I think it's less about him like not trusting Negan. I think he's smart enough to know that Negan knows what he's saying, and he's been reliable with them for going on a good couple of years now. It's not like it's just new that Negan's doing the right thing. So like he gets this. But yeah,
But I mean, considering the situation, I'm thinking he'd be very hesitant to go against Maggie on anything.
yeah,
Especially
that's the overriding
something dealing with Negan,
Yes.
especially on that. So.
But one of the things I thought about as they were walking through, like, wouldn't the smell down there be just overpowering between the flooding and the thousands of dead bodies? I'm like,
it'd be the worst thing possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should have smelled them as soon as you got down the steps.
Yeah,
that's like we're on Mars, but we gotta walk regular because it costs too much to add.
Right,
exactly.
We just gotta go with it.
I guess you just tell yourself everybody stinks so bad
Yes.
now in this world that it's just
Again, it didn't take me out of it. I just thought it was funny. I was like, man, wouldn't the smell be just like,
Yeah,
oh,
they're
God,
just
so
used
bad.
to it.